Okay, good afternoon. Before we start, I would like you to introduce yourself and your candidate number.
My name is Nur Alia Nadia binti Raub. My candidate number is 0023480029.
Okay, first of all, what is your team and why is it important to you?
Most of my work strive to encompass the themes that emphasize on the local fragility and uniqueness of traditional Malay culture. I tend to use simple objects or things like trishaw, women, or even a portrait in my artworks. I manipulate the colors as well as the proportion to manifest itself in its form and detail, which can trigger the imaginations about the story behind the works. Hopefully, it can reinforce and enhance the sense of identity of those in family, community, or civilizations. It is important for me because doing this theme is an opportunity for me to make reflections and discovery about my own culture, which I think very unique and it should be promoted to the world.
Okay, next, what artistic process did you explore and why?
I tried variety of medium like watercolor, charcoal, acrylic and bitumen. I explore all of it and I feel like I am comfortable and do like bitumen because the chromatic colors produced by it really convey my message. I believe that the sepia effect produced by bitumen can influence the mood of my painting as well as the viewer as it evokes the rustic and classic atmosphere which creates the longing to the memory lane. For example, in my works titled The Embassy of Trishaw, this work discusses about heritage spot in Melaka. Trishaw is one of human-powered transportation that is popularly used by people in 1920. The ideas about Trishaw actually sparked when I had a photography trip in Melaka. The trishaw that cruised around the Melaka town with colourful light cruise glow at night first got my attention. The major medium I used was acrylic and bitumen. I mixed a bright colour with light yellow with analogous colour such as blue and purple and used glazing technique to create the subtle tone. Hence, it conveyed a movement of trishaw in Malacca that was embodied by the owner with colourful accessories like neon, flowers and flag. The composition of trishaw is placed such that close at the left edges of the artwork and the spectrum of colours that are pointed to the trishaw create focus and it allows me to achieve dynamic balance in my artwork. Therefore, it creates unity between the background and the subject matter. For Lang Melayang, this artwork actually emphasized on tengkolok, which is an official headdress worn by Malay Sultanate from 1940 until nowadays. The design and shape was varied from state to state, and each of form was folded in a symbol of animal or abstract idea. Lang Melayang is actually named of tengkolok originated from Johor, which is my hometown. In this work, I am using skeleton to symbolize the long-last Malay traditions. I am using bitumen and tried to work in producing different tone of color by diluting bitumen with terpentine. I also add color stroke in order to highlight a range of tonal contrast. The composition of skeleton was at the center to show the sense of formalities, so that I can drive the viewer eyes right into the center of interest. Furthermore, the center and asymmetrical compositions allow me to achieve balance, strong form, which can create the sense of unity and peaceful. The detailing on the pattern of the color was added to emphasize on its material, which is songket. In addition, my work has been focused on creating interesting texture and layering technique. I like to use a lot of different materials, include foil, tissue paper, old envelope, newspaper, and other found objects. I experiment with these materials to generate unique texture to my painting. Texture can be a powerful force in making my artwork appear 3D or more realistic, as it as it able to add visual interest that often associated with the sense of feel. It is seen by the work, the title, The Eyes of Flamboyance, Souls and Shadow Puppet.
Okay, now about the eyes of flamboyant.
The Eyes of Flamboyant is the symbolism of peacock character and expressions my own thought. In this artwork, tissue paper is used to produce rough and jagged surface. It literally fools the eyes of the viewer since two senses are used, which are sight and touch. A piece of boxes at the left side of the work is made to balance the space and the plumage of the peacock. I am using glitters to outline the peacock plumage. Glittering effects symbolize the elegancy, richness, and grace. The color used is from high-key color like red and orange to low-key colors such as blue, purple, and violet. Then the tone of color is adjusted by bitumen and black acrylic. These gradients through high-key color to low-key color produce spatial quality that can influence mood and emotions. The Eyes of Flamboyance convey my own interpretations and idea about peacock. For me, being too proud is opposed by God, and at the end, it caused trouble to us since we don't have good relationship with people around. For Soul, this artwork represents the two generations, which is the old man and the man that I consider as teenagers. Monochromatic effects produced by bitumen and high-key color like orange and yellow elicits a kind of sorrowful mood. Bright tone of color like yellow actually represents the exciting moment between these two individuals. Mixing a black charcoal and bitumen shows the miserable and fading of that exciting moment due to loss of intensity as the value is adjusted. I add detailing on the texture to emphasize the wrinkle of skin of the old man. The dark tone and extreme contrast elicit the emotions of deep distress, disappointment, misfortune suffered, which lead to melancholy mood. Shadow puppet, same goal with the previous artwork. Shadow puppet was focused on the texture as well. This is my further exploration of new ways in producing texture. The materials like newspaper, envelope box, tissue paper was randomly paste using white glue. For the first layer, the glazing technique is used to mix analogous color, which is blue and purple. I use sponge to produce crumbling and dynamic effect on the final layer. The detailing was added by using metallic marker.
Okay, next, you like to discuss what inspired you in general?
I am greatly inspired by Jailani Abu Hassan, or well known as Jai, and also Zulkifli Yusuf. Both of them are iconic Malaysian contemporary artists that has been recognized both locally and internationally for their talents in capturing the traditional life and provoking the essence of society. What inspired me is their approach to compose the idea. Element they use is not only for the purpose of capturing the image, but it also have the ability to convey the idea naturally through the rawness of the drawing and literally can trigger the thinking process of the viewer. I incorporated some aspect in their works like the use of colors and medium into mine.
Okay, now explain each piece of your work, then present the flow of thoughts in that particular work.
First, the Gajah. This is my first art project and my first attempt using charcoal. The Gajah is a work about the issues of endangered animals that need protection to prevent them from extinct. This is why the elephant was chosen as a subject matter. I was influenced by the technique used in Caravaggio's artwork, which is the technique of chiaroscuro. I play with light and shadow in attempt to develop illusions of mass, volume, and space, so that the three dimensions are created. The power of light and dark in this work creates sorrowful mood to the viewers. In addition, charcoal is a great medium in producing the effect of light and shade across the subject matter. It elicits emotions of anxiety and fear to express the message behind my subject matter. The emotions created through the technique and the medium itself stimulate the response to the viewer. Besides, detailing element is used to emphasize texture of the elephant skin, so it can increase the surface characteristic. For the journey to the summit, this is my second artwork. I am exploring on the use of acrylic and charcoal. The inspiration comes when I study about sheep, which is zebra stripe French light cruiser. I like the pattern and the classic attenuation of this sheep. I have drawn a picture of zebra in running positions. This artwork actually discusses about life and competitions, especially in this modern era, as well as my personal view on modernizations. Based on my interpretations, since modernization is fast changing, people tend to transform themselves from traditional and rural society to an industrial society by adapting others' culture and value. For heritage of the world, this work reveals about traditional Malay martial art form, which is silat. My intentions is to evoke the traditional traditions and culture of Malaysian civilizations. I'm using one-layered stencils to show the variety of figurative and aesthetic movement in silat, such as defensive positions and the movement of self-defense combat. For me, the figures look mysterious and unique. I am using bitumen for the background and add texture by splashing mixture of turpentine and bitumen on it. The white brush stroke was added to emphasize on the rhythm and the metaphors of movement in silat, which can be symbolized as power and energy. For the Remy discuss about legendary Malaysian artist, which is P. Ramlee. I want to convey historical aspect and triggers the viewer's interpretations. For me, the subject matter Doremi, which is one of the characters in traditional Malay film, is strong enough to feature value and inspirations to the viewer. This is my appreciation for their great contribution to Malaysian film industry.
Okay, was your workbook important for you in creating your projects?
Yes, my workbook is very important. This is where I compare perceptively art from different culture and times to analyze their significance and functions. I also did a sketching and brainstorm my ideas, interests as well in my workbook. Sketching makes me notice things simply because I spend a lot of time looking at it. I realize a good research and a well-planned idea play a key role in producing a great art project. Eventually, some of my works are very spontaneous and the idea comes subconsciously.
Okay. Did you enjoy doing your works?
I do enjoy doing my works because I can experiment a lot of things and experience difficulties such as facing technical problems like unbalanced composition and choice of colors. I did some mistakes during this process, such as I did not refer any pictures in drawing. So I end up with totally wrong compositions. However, sometimes mistakes become a different and unique way in drawing some things. Since this is my learning process, I feel like doing mistakes in my art is a must so that I can learn and recover from them.
Okay. That's all. Thank you very much.